What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Now, as you know, it's Black History Month, and I've decided to dedicate these videos for this month to issues specifically dealing with the Black community, and that's on a worldwide scale. With that being said, instead of focusing on things of the past civil rights leaders, past inventors, I've decided to focus on things that are happening today in the present and things that can and should happen in the future. Last week's video was a little bit depressing. I can understand that. And a lot of times, Black people's experiences today in 2021 can be a little bit depressing. But today I have a much lighter topic for you, a much more inspirational topic for you, and a good video that I think a lot of people can learn from. Today I'm going to be talking about two African American entrepreneurs, and they are collaborating. So we're going to dive right into it. First of all, shouts out to Master P. If you're not familiar, he's a rapper, entrepreneur. He owns several businesses, including a YouTube channel by the name of Master P Reviews. On Master P Reviews, what he does is he goes to different entrepreneurs and he reviews their products. This topic in particular really caught my attention. He did a review for the man named Richard Patterson. Richard Patterson was a former Tesla designer of the Model S. He made history as the first Black manufacturer and designer of a supercar. So we're going to check out this video. Y'all can watch it with me. And as we watch, I'm going to be pausing to put in my 2 cents or my commentary. So check this out.
2,000 horsepower. This is the RR edition.
Wait, you said 2,000 horsepower?
Yes, sir.
That's like a Bugatti, basically. The only other car I know.
What I like about this, though, this is done by a Black man.
Exactly.
You built this from the ground up.
Yeah, it looks nice, but it actually has a lot of function to the form. Yeah. And I thought of that sitting on the plane.
Oh, it's real sleek. It's like modern, new, just beautiful.
That's what we was looking for, or what I was looking for when I did it.
So tell them what's the name of this car.
This car is the Nemesis.
Okay.
And it actually is the enemy to anything out there, especially from Europe. So it will be their nemesis.
That's literal. We coming after the competition. I'm gonna name the car Nemesis.
I'm gonna just call it Black Magic. That's what I'm gonna call it.
This is straight out of a movie, though. Like, I would never thought like I'll see a car like this when you're watching these future films in my time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Created by you, somebody who looks like us.
Exactly.
You know? Like, this is amazing.
But we dream and we think of things too, and we actually do stuff.
Yes.
And I definitely got a track record and pedigree out in the automotive space that proves that I can.
No, but you
do
put the
my
work
thing.
in, and I tell people all the time, you can't get to the top of any game. I don't care what it is, unless you really put the work in and you're consistent about what you're doing. So,
Correct.
This is incredible.
And these are actually ailerons or wings that help the airflow, and that keeps the car down in the rear as well.
Yeah.
So does this light up?
This is the light here.
Dang, all around.
And then this right here is your driving light in here. So when you hit the brakes, that all lights up, that your blinkers, everything here, one piece design. And I wanted to keep it as nice and fresh as the vehicle, as the car itself. This is open, of course, to two draw fans behind here that actually draw out the heat from the engine.
The car looking good. How many people could fit in this car?
There's two people, but
that's all I need is two. You know, a Black man that created a car. We got to tell the world about this.
Yes, sir.
From a scale of 1 to 10, Ron, what do you rate this? Not because he here. I'm just saying. Just act like
Nemesis?
Yes.
1 through 10.
Yes.
I'm looking at the beauty of it, right?
Okay.
This thing look like, this needs to be in the new James
This is not a
Bond
woman
movie.
we talking about.
I'm a talk. It is a woman. All my car are women, so I'm just saying. The beauty is immaculate.
Stop touching on the car like that.
Okay, I'm just saying. Props, let me do my thing. Look at the rims. He said it's 2,000 HP?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. So this thing not just beautiful, but it got some power to it. Keeping it 100. This has to be the first 10. I have to give it a 10. Pops, this is a 10. Look at this. Pull up in this. You may get Rihanna, Pops. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me tell you.
Master P get his groove back. Percy
What
Miller.
you mean get my groove back? My groove ain't never left.
I'm just saying.
So you saying I can't get Rihanna?
In this you could.
Okay,
Get
from a
nemesis.
scale of 1 to 10, this car is a 10.
This is officially a
It's
10.
officially a 10. This is my first 10. You know what that means, homie? We got a new partner. We got a new partner. I'm just saying. Look,
For real.
look. Let me tell you something. With me and my son, we about business. We about our culture and our people. And I just want to let black people, minorities all across the world know how big this is. For to have a brother like you to be a part of technology and creating stuff that could change the world. And they ain't even see the other cars that we looked at.
Right.
They don't need to see that. They don't need to see the SUVs right now.
But Pops, this is a big deal for the culture, for our people.
Yes.
Like I was saying in there earlier, it's like this is how we create jobs for us.
Yeah.
This is how we inspire us. Them seeing you create something like this. They seen me and Pops make history and music and products, but seeing a black man build a car, and not just any car, but one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen.
Yeah, and then you know what? That just shows you how we are involved as people.
Correct.
And today is the dream celebration. We celebrate Martin Luther King.
MLK.
You know,
This
is beautiful because this man fought so long. It's way overdue.
That's what Rich remind me of too. His story in there is like he never gave up. This didn't happen overnight. This is what people don't realize.
And
It's
you know
like
what?
the devil was trying to knock him off.
Yeah.
He could have quit so many times.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and also, like you said, this is so important that we all here, brother. I'm proud of you. Give it a go. We're gonna take over the world, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna take over the world. Y'all know y'all like this for real.
This is it.
They've been stealing our ideas a long time, and now we able to control and create. This is beautiful. This is only the beginning.
Make them say mercy. Make them say mercy.
I'm sitting here with a genius, man. I'm just letting you know. This is our next partner.
Nice meeting you, James.
Look at this car, Jay.
So push the red line. Go.
You know, and this goes out to everybody that's buying exotic cars, getting y'all foreign whips sent in. I'm challenging the whole industry, whether you're an entertainer, athlete, I don't care if you're Drake, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Floyd Mayweather, 2 Chainz, Rick Ross, LeBron James, Lil Wayne, DJ Khaled, Puffy, Lil Baby, the Baby, Snoop. We got to support this movement, man. Let's get our cars from Trion, because this is how we change the game and put money back in our community. This is the first black-owned car made by a black person. This is history.
Hey guys, salute Master P, salute Richard Patterson. I think these are 2 household names, 2 great men that a lot of people should look up to as kids, and just men in general can look up to these great entrepreneurs. It's a testament to black innovation, black entrepreneurship. It's definitely raising the bar, setting a high standard for us to reach up to, look up to, and try to attain. With that being said, I understand that everyone cannot be an entrepreneur. Everyone cannot be a boss. Everyone cannot own their own business or their own company. Every society, every country needs workers. A company is only as good as its workers. So I don't want to only focus on the great entrepreneurial spirit that we have. We also have to be realistic about some of the issues that we as workers face. I wanted you to check out this clip coming from Democracy Now! Right now, there's a very big push, a very big movement or strike going towards Amazon and these general companies pushing to raise the minimum wage. I believe today the federal minimum wage might be either $7.25 or $9.25. I cannot remember exactly. But right now they're pushing for the minimum wage to be raised up to $15 an hour. So check out this brief clip and I'll come back with more thoughts.
As Congress debates whether to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, fast food workers in 15 cities held a Black History Month strike Tuesday as part of the Fight for 15 campaign and to emphasize the, quote, crisis among Black communities who face generations of low pay and insufficient protections on the job. These are some of their voices.
My name is Corey Carroll. I'm a member of McDonald's and a member of NC Fight 15. I've been in this organization for 6 years. I'm doing this because my kids need me. I'm pregnant with a baby on the way, this third baby, and I already have 2 kids. I can't take this no more. There was times when I didn't have a break. I came in on my day off, and my own manager didn't tell me how much I'm getting paid an hour. The highest check I ever got was literally $291. I can't take it no more. I'm halfway homeless. I need this $15 an hour, not only for me, but for everybody.
I was 16 years old, first day working in fast food. Just like the young lady that spoke today, fresh on the job, I didn't understand what was going on. So I learned to put an armor on. I continue to smile and be friendly with my customers, and I teach the crew to put on the same armor that I wear. But this armor gets heavy, real heavy when you can't pay your bills.
A lot of people are hurting right now. Millions of people are out of work or have lost their jobs due to this global pandemic and the government's decision to shut down all businesses, or the vast majority of businesses, restaurants, bars, etc. Nurses, teachers, essential workers, many people are working just to live under the poverty line. They're living in poverty not due to laziness or lack of desire to work or inability to work. They're living in poverty because the minimum wage hasn't increased in over a decade. The federal minimum wage being $7.25. This is a big problem, and it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed now. Not only are people hurting because of low wages or lack of wages, lack of health care is a big problem in America. In America, most people get their health care through their employer. And with so many companies and jobs being lost, healthcare is being lost as well, which is why whenever you see political debates, presidential debates, what have you, healthcare is such a big issue. And politicians just talk with very little action to address these problems. Right now, there's a big general strike going on in America, and I support it. Minimum wage does need to be addressed. I believe in a living wage. If you're working 40 hours a week, you should have enough money to support yourself at least and your family. That's $15 minimum wage. Inflation has risen, but wages have not. In over 10 years, people are starving, and it's not due to laziness. We're going to play one more clip before I let you go. Check this out.
Is it legal for President Biden to cancel student debt? The answer is yes. He can do it today, without any other action by Congress. Let me explain why. Imagine you lend me $20. It's your $20. You can ask me to pay it back in full, in half, or not at all. Student debt cancellation works the same way. When someone takes out a federal student loan, they're borrowing money from the government, and the Constitution gives Congress the authority to control property of the government, such as debts owed to it. When Congress gave the Secretary of Education the authority to make or back student loans, it also gave the Secretary the broad and unrestricted power to cancel or write down that debt. This power was established under the Higher Education Act in 1965. That law gives the Secretary of Education the authority to compromise, waive, or release any right, title, claim, lien, or demand, however acquired. The Secretary also has the authority not simply to compromise debt, but to modify a student loan to zero. Secretary Betsy DeVos actually used this authority to cancel out a limited amount of student debt. Now, it's important to understand the purpose of the Higher Education Act. It was to make the benefits of higher education widely available, especially to those who otherwise couldn't afford it. Nobody else but the federal government was willing to lend to people with no credit history, no means, and only the chance at a bright future. But we decided to do it because education is so important to us as individuals and as a country. But the intent was not what we're seeing now. Worsening the racial wealth gap, driving up costs, reducing affordability and access, and triggering a repayment crisis. The nation today has a $1.7 trillion student debt burden owed to the federal government by about 43 million Americans. At the Project on Predatory Student Lending, we represent over 1 million student borrowers who were cheated by for-profit colleges. And this is an industry that aggressively targets and scams people who are looking for jobs and careers in order to get its hands on federal student loan dollars. Their priority is enrollment, not education. We see how defaulting on student debt can cause poor credit, food insecurity, homelessness, inability to pay household debt, barriers to employment, and mental and physical health issues. It holds people back in their decisions to get married and have children or to do certain kinds of jobs that we as a country need doing. And this burden impacts the whole family, the whole community, the whole economy, not just the loan bearer. But we've also seen how debt cancellation can liberate Americans and their families. And with the COVID-19 pandemic, the government has paused federal student loan payments through September 2021. This has freed up households in this pandemic to spend money and help keep our economy going. And the ability to do that falls under the same authority to modify or outright cancel debts. In these examples and others, the law is clear. President Biden has the legal authority to cancel student debt.
Recently, Senators Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer have presented a bill to President Joe Biden requesting that he eliminate up to $50,000 worth of student loans, student debt. Unfortunately for us, Joe Biden decided not to do it. He says he doesn't believe he has the constitutional right to do so. The man is a liar. He knows he has the right to do it. Just like in the video that they presented, they've shown that so far, the president, I believe it was President Trump, who decided to delay student loan repayment up until September 2021. Thank you, President Trump, for that. But Joe Biden, you have the opportunity. You have the chance to push the ball forward. I'm saying this right now on air. I believe that Joe Biden has the opportunity to make or break the Democratic Party. So what do I mean by that? Well, almost half the country believes that the presidency was stolen from Donald Trump. Almost half of the U.S. Senate voted not to impeach Donald Trump for the second time, which means Donald Trump still could run in 2024. However, depending on how well or how poorly Joe Biden manages this crisis will determine whether or not Donald Trump even feels there's a chance of him winning. He does not want to be embarrassed again. If Joe Biden does a good job, the Republican Party has a good chance of crumbling. The Republican Party is weak. It's fractured. The only thing that's propping it up is the base's determination and loyalty to Donald Trump. If Joe Biden does a good job, Donald Trump will not rerun, and the Republican Party will have no foot to stand on, no leg to stand on. So what would be a good job, in my opinion? Number one, no increased wars. Donald Trump, hate him or love him, he did not start any new wars. And you got to give him respect for that. However, Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, they tend to be a little bit more warmonger. They tend to be warmongers. Okay? When Obama came into office in 2009, or 2010 technically, but when he won his election in 2009, he ran on hope and change. Yes, I can. We're going to get out of the war in Iraq. We're going to get out of the war in Afghanistan. And instead of getting out of these 2 wars, he ballooned our wars to 7. Now we're in war in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, Libya, and the list goes on. Yemen now, that's a whole nother story. No more wars. That's number one. Number two, arguably even more important than no more wars, is our economics here at home. Right now, millions of people are out of work. There's a low minimum wage. Companies are gone and they're never coming back. How can you provide financial stability for American citizens? One way is eliminate, if not vastly decrease, student debt. I think there's $1.9 trillion deficit due to student loans, unpaid student loans. That means a lot of people are working just to pay off their student loans. I myself dropped out of law school, not because I didn't have the grades. I passed all my classes. I dropped out because I didn't want to go $250,000 in debt for a degree. I had to I had to stop going to law school over money. In my opinion, if you pass the classes, school should be free. If you're good enough to get in, you should be able to go to school for free. They don't say you got to drop out of high school because you don't have the money. You have to drop out of middle school because you don't have the money. But people drop out of college all the time over student loans. Eliminate the debt. Number two, jobs, minimum wage. Student loans, minimum wage. If Joe Biden does any, and healthcare. So I'll say these are the top four. No new wars, eliminate or reduce student loans, increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. And the fourth one is healthcare. Not pushing vaccine on people, but we need some type of healthcare. I know right now we have the Obamacare, and I know Biden is not for expanding to Medicare for all, but we're going to have to see some significant improvements on U.S. healthcare. And my prediction is Biden will fail in 3 of these 4 areas. Time will show. Time will show. But hey guys, if you got value from this channel, be sure to hit the like button. If you got value from the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you get value from the channel, hit the subscribe button. Come back every week for at least 1 new video. I'm going to try to increase that to 2. The problem is now I'm getting ready to move. I'm announcing it finally. I'm coming home, guys. I'm coming home. So I got a lot of things I'm working on. I've been very busy, but I have to get you at least 1 video a week. Soon I'll increase it. All right. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next week. Peace.